Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Thanks for tuning in. In this video, I'm going to show you how I make my vegan butter. I was looking for butter options online and ran across a few recipes and tried a few, didn't really like them. Tried to mix and match some techniques and ingredients and didn't really care for it. Came across this one. It wasn't completely compliant for the fast metabolism diet plan, and it didn't taste very good. So I played around with the amounts of the oil and the combinations and came up with this. My recipe uses aquafaba, and if you haven't heard me talk about aquafaba before, it's simply the juice or the water from chickpeas, either from canned that you buy at the store, or if you cook chickpeas yourself, the liquid that's left over is aquafaba. I always cook my chickpeas from dried peas because I think they taste better and it's cheaper. So I save the water and use it to, a little bit of it, to make my vegan butter. Sort of a stabilizer when you're blending everything together, and it helps everything emulsify and helps hold its shape and its body along with the coconut oil that hardens, so it can resemble butter in look and definitely in taste. Now you don't taste the bean water at all, so you don't have to worry about that. It doesn't count as anything. It's not a protein. It's not anything on FMD as far as a component other than it's a freebie. And there's lots of things you can do with aquafaba, and I have some future videos coming up that I will show you what you can do with aquafaba. It's pretty cool. So in the blender, I have my aquafaba already and my vinegar and my salt. And I am going to blend this up and get this started. Turn it on low. And in my blender, there's not a lot of liquid in there, so I let it blend for just a minute. Plus there's some bean fragments in there that you can strain those out if you want, but I don't worry about it because I know my blender will take care of that and blend it all up and make it nice and smooth, so I'm not worried about that. Once it starts to change color just a little bit, turn it back down. Now I have all my oil here in this little container, and it's all the other oils that are measured out. It makes it easier for me to pour. And I'm going to very, very slowly pour this in. Now if you've watched my mayo video, you know exactly what I'm doing here. Just a little bit at a time. I have to switch hands because I'm not left-handed. I'll turn it up just a little bit. Now sometimes my butter doesn't get super thick. Sometimes it does. It all depends on that bean juice. And that's okay because it still tastes really good as long as it's not totally liquid, and it shouldn't be. Once you refrigerate it and let it set for a while, the coconut oil will help it to set up just a little bit. But you want to do this very similar to the mayonnaise, and I'm just putting just a little bit at a time in, and I'm turning up the speed. Let this emulsify. You can do this by hand too if you want. You can hear that it's changing a little bit. It's starting to get that thick consistency. Let's see what happens here when I get this all done. Now you can use the aquafaba, the bean juice from bean water, bean juice from white beans or cannellini beans or chickpeas. You can technically use black beans if you want, but it just would make your butter a funny color. And if you cook your chickpeas from dried and you use that aquafaba, make sure that that water is pretty thick. So there's times where I have to actually put it into a saucepan by itself and just let it simmer for a little bit and reduce. You don't want to put it in too thin, it just won't hold up very well. it won't emulsify and your butter could turn out just a little bit thinner. So I got all my oil in, and it's pretty thick. You can see here that it's pretty thick. It looks a little bit like butter. I'm going to give it a taste. Now sometimes here, at this point, it should taste like butter to a degree. It gets better as it sits for a while and all the flavors sort of come together. Sometimes I find that this flavor is just a little strong. So what I'll do is I'll just add more grapeseed oil. Grapeseed oil doesn't have any flavor at all. So I'm going to turn this back on, and I'm going to put in just a little more grapeseed oil. This will also help to emulsify it just a little bit more. And you don't have to put in much, but you can put in one of the other oils if you want. Just give it a taste, and you know, if it needs more salt, add more salt. If it's not tangy enough, add a few drops of vinegar. And I always give it a little speed test there, go up a little bit higher on my speed. All right. So now, here you can see how thick that is. It's pourable, but it will set up. So this is darn near perfect. So what I'll do is I'll pour it into my container. I have a label with today's date so I know when I made it. It'll keep for a couple of weeks or a little bit longer. Sometimes it separates a little bit, the moisture will come out and it looks like water. You can dump that off, or you can stir it up and mix it back in. Doesn't matter, it doesn't change the taste. So, you know, don't worry if yours does that after a few days. But it should last for a good 2 weeks or so, maybe a little bit longer. It's really just a bunch of oil that's blended up. So there you have it. There's my vegan butter. Simple, easy, delicious. It's great on toast. You can cook with it. You can bake with it. You can fry your eggs in it in phase 3. You can put it on bread. You can do whatever you do with regular butter. So if you can't do dairy, you can use this option. If you don't want to do dairy, you can use this option. Or of course on FMD where we don't do dairy, this is a great option. And it's nut free. It's really good. It's super simple. I hope you give it a try. I will link my recipe down below so you can follow it. I hope you like my video. If you do, give it a thumbs up and make sure you subscribe to my channel. That way you can get alerted when I upload videos so you can keep track of what I'm cooking, maybe learn some new techniques. I appreciate everybody tuning in. I hope you have a good day. Thanks, everyone. Okay, I wanted to give you guys an update on the butter. It's been in the refrigerator all night, and you can see how nice and firm it is. It's nice and solid almost. I mean, it's soft serve, so you can like spread it easily. Not super hard like butter gets, but oh my gosh, it's so good. Can't wait to have this on some toast. But I thought you guys would like to see that. Alright, give this a try. Hope you like it.